Hope everyone ready.
Good morning,
So
Samir.
we are going to start. We are going to start a basic training course. Good morning. So hope you are ready. You can mute your mic and you can switch on your cameras. I know some people it's still in their working place. If that people okay, other people if you are sitting in home, you can switch on your videos also. Then we can interact more. So I think everyone have a pen and notepad to write notes also. So let me introduce the person who's going to conduct this meeting. You know, everyone know about him. The best thing about this person, for me, he's my mentor. He helped me a lot to build this business because last my 14-16 years this business, a lot of up and down. He's the one person who always behind me and pushes me because of his training, his learning. I achieve a lot things in this business, not only financial wise, personally also. So I hope everyone ready. Let's put our hearts together and please help me welcome our upline, our mentor, associate V partner, Mr. Balaji Kumar.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Balaji.
Yes, thank you very much, Samira, for introduction. I hope you guys are doing very well. And I welcome all of you to this morning where we are going to have our own first program for most of the IRs who are attending today, which is your basic training course. Now, this basic training course is just a beginning today. All right, so that doesn't mean that you finish off this course and then you have become master. No, it is just a start. It is just a beginning for all of you. So like Samira has put up this introduction. So let me just talk a little bit about myself. My name is Balaji. I have been associated with this business and this industry for last 2 decades now. And I welcome you, all of you, to this wonderful opportunity. All right, and what you have embraced today is something which is people start up with a very small capital, but you have started a journey of becoming an entrepreneur, and that is what you have got into. Okay, so whether you bought a product today or somebody has told you about this business, or maybe you just came into this because of obligation or because your friend has told you, whatever may be the reason, and I'm not very much thinking about that reason, but I am more interested that you have come and you have embraced into this journey. And now this journey is something which is basically is going to get you to your dreams, whatever your financial dreams, whatever goals you have thought about, and it is going to get you there. My journey started when I was in Bahrain. I was introduced to it by a very close friend. His name is Arun George. As you grow in this business, you will get to hear a lot about him. He was a very close friend. We studied together. So he brought me into this business. I came with a lot of reluctance. Why? Because my industry was hotel management. I was a chef. And I used to think that I will not be able to do this business at any moment of time. I will not be able to talk to anybody. I'll not be able to network with people. But he was there at all times. So you will get to hear this word called as upline. as you get going into this business, you will hear this word called as upline. Upline is the person who is basically either he has brought you into the business, or this person who is maybe in direct communication with you. Means he may not be a person who brought you into this business, but he will be the person who is direct communication with you, and he is the person who is interested in your growth. So what you are going to see is basically your initial, maybe I think about 6 months to 12 months, you will be working very closely with this person called as upline. And he may be in the what we call it as the genealogy. That means he may be just because that you happen to fall into his team, or you happen to fall into his organization. All right, so that is what is basically, he will be the person who will be guiding and he will be coaching you. So Arun George is my upline, and he was the person who was constantly mentoring me, constantly talking to me, almost on a daily basis. And that is what is upline's responsibility is. So you are getting into this business very new. Let me tell you and warn you right now that you will get a lot of phone calls, all right, from this person called as upline. So don't get annoyed. Why? Because this person is seriously interested in your growth. And it's a win-win situation for him. That means he helps you to grow. Definitely he also grows by himself. So he has a vested interest. So that is why he would like to communicate with you all the time. Another point which I would like to say, as you are very new, is you have come here from a different industry. Your industry may be connected to sales and marketing, or not connected to it. Like my industry, when I was in chef, like I was in hotel industry, or I was a chef, it was a highly skillful industry. And that industry is not connected to anywhere sales and marketing. So automatically, my skill set which I had to forget that skill set, and I had to acquire a new set of skill set. So similarly, however you are coming into this business, from you may be accountant before, and now you are adapting into this industry. Or let's say example, you are an engineer before, or you are a lawyer before, or you are a salesperson before, and now you are getting into this industry. And let me tell you, this industry is equally big. It's a huge industry, almost having 220 billion annual turnover. This is that kind of industry. So when you're coming and becoming a part of this industry, it's very important that I must understand that I cannot bring the skill set which I had in my previous industry to this industry. Probably I need to learn. And the best thing for us is basically, when we want to learn something new, we got to unlearn few things. And that is what is basically something which is very important, and it's a term in our business which we call it as emptying your cup. Emptying your cup doesn't mean like, okay, no, you are holding a cup and then you are trying to empty it. No, the idea is, understand, let's say example, your mind is a cup. If your mind is a cup, that means it has got a limitation. And what you can take is only that is possible. So that means the more you want to take, definitely it will overflow. So at one point of time, like as you are getting into this industry, understand very clearly that yes, I am getting into a new industry. And as I am getting into a new industry, I need to be very clear that I need to learn few things and I need to unlearn few things. And I did the same. And I saw many successful people. They did the same. They understood basically that, yes, I am getting into an industry which is a brand new, it has certain requirements, and I need to meet those requirements. Okay. Now, one of the very important point, which I would like to say, that you have invested here maybe 700, 800, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, $4,000 to get started with this business. As you started this business, you have become what we call it as a businessman or businesswoman. That means you have become now entrepreneur. And when I call it as an entrepreneur, that means you are getting into a new journey altogether. So you are a businessman or you are a businesswoman. Now, for majority of us, it becomes a very hard sentence to digest that I am a businessman or I am a businesswoman. Because most of us will relate always business with a big investment. We will always feel that, oh, business means I need to put 50,000 US dollars. I need to put 100,000 US dollars. If I don't put that kind of money, it is not a business firm. And time and again, this thought will be keep on coming into your life. Let me tell you, any business is a business. As long as you are making some profit, it is a business. So similarly, when you getting into this business and you invested, let's say $1,000 or $2,000, and you have decided to make profit, you have decided to make a lot of money, first thing which must change is here, your mindset. So what is the mindset? The mindset is the thought process. The thought process must change that, yes, I am a businesswoman or I am a businessman. When you understand there is a business, means you also understand that there is a give and take. That means I need to put something in order to get something. So what did you put so far? You put so far investment, which is your capital. But do you think any business will run only with the capital? No, never. And I'm sure you look around anywhere, let's say your nearby restaurant or nearby grocery store, you will understand very clearly. Does that only requires capital? No, it doesn't require only capital. If it only requires capital, it will become a purely investment. But we are talking about business. That means business requires not only the capital, business requires you, your skill set, and your time. So, understanding the fact that time is the real investment here. And that should be your mindset. That means it is going to grow if I put more time towards it. Example, like let's say example, okay, your nearby grocery shop. I am sure you will understand that your nearby grocery shop has a fixed time to open and a fixed time to close. And they are decided also which day is their holiday. Let's say example, if they have a holiday. Okay, mostly grocery shops, I have never seen them, they are taking a holiday. But let's say if they have a holiday, it's all pre-decided. Imagine if a grocery shop opens and closes at the own will of the owner. That means owner today, he decides I am going to go and I'm going to open the grocery shop. Let's say between 9 to 5. Next day, he opens from 7 to 9. Next day, he opens only in the evening. Do you think this grocery shop will have some business? Very less. Why? Because there is no fixed timing for it. So as you get into this business, you need to understand very clearly that yes, I am putting in money, but I am equally putting in time. And what is my time devotion to this business? I need to give it to I need to talk to my upline about it. That this is my time commitment for this business. And let me tell you that as you grow with your time commitment towards this business, the business is bound to grow. I'll give you my example. I used to do break shift. Okay, I used to go to the hotel 10 o'clock in the morning, come back around 3:30, again go back at 5:36, come back around 11:30. I started making some adjustments after my first 2 months in the business because I understood that my team was growing, my group was growing, and in order for me to give more time towards this business, I need to make some changes towards it. I started taking permission from my management if I can report by 11 instead of 10, so that in the morning time I will have some time towards building up of this business. Similarly, I started also using my own transportation instead of taking company transportation. You know that one decision saved me 1 hour every day, and that 1 hour was so costly. So that 1 hour I started saving from that and started putting it for this business. So understand very clearly that our life was very normal and busy, equally busy before this business also. Correct? But now you come into this business, yes, your life is also busy, is going to be more busier. So how do you make more time? How do you create more time? You create more time by making some kind of adjustments, some little sacrifices from your daily routine or from your weekly commitment. I stopped, like I can say that I stopped going to parties, different get-togethers. I started making some sacrifices in the initial days of my business. People used to call me. I said, no, I cannot. Because this business was more important. My team was looking forward for my time. So I had to make some changes. So understand, as you are getting into this business, you need, of course, you have done what the capital investment is. You need time. You are equally busy. Okay. So I respect you for that, but you need to make out some kind of a time. So how do you make out your time? You got to make some adjustments towards it. I'll tell you one more interesting scenario. Like before joining this business, I was already in Bahrain and I had this kind of a schedule. I'll tell you, 3:30 I used to take the transportation from the hotel, come back to my accommodation. I used to sleep for 1 hour, get up, make tea. By the time I'll have tea, everything ready, the transportation will come. But what did I do? I made that change, said, no, I'm not going to sleep. And instead, I'm going to spend time with my team members or spend time with the new people. And that is the way basically the business started growing. All right. So you got to create some time towards it. Last point, as you are starting, understand that you are getting into $1 million business. 6 years, $1 million. Quite possible. Faster is also possible. But if you take on an average, let's say example, you want to make next 5 years $1 million. What kind of attitude, professional attitude, a business attitude which you will have? Think about it. Let's say example, let me give you another example. Let's say you are getting into a job. In that job, somebody has told you, next 5 years, you work here very seriously, you will be promoted to general manager. Are you not willing to put that hard work? Are you not willing to put that kind of upgradation of that skill set or whatever is required to get to there? You will. Why? Because somebody has told you you will get there. Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, next 5 years, $1 million is quite possible in our business. It's possible. People have done it. They are keep on doing it again and again. So we as humans keep challenging the other humans with the power of their mind. And I can tell you, in our business, people have done 1 million in 3 years also. So, but I am taking 1 million in 5 years. If that is your goal, or if that is something which you are thinking, what kind of a professional attitude or what kind of a skill set which you should carry? Start thinking about it and think about that and get going. All right. So that should be your starting point. Now, we spoke about initial few requirements from you. The second thing which I will talk about here is what we follow. Now, when I started this, and along with, of course, Arun, who is V partner in the company, then there is another V partner Cherian, V counsel Dr. Anil, and associate V partner Manoj. We 5 of us, we started this company called as Titans. And Titans was born after 2 years, approximately close to 2 years after we started this business. Till that time, what did we do? We did a lot of trial and error. Some things worked, some things never worked. So whatever worked, we decided we are going to take that together and we are going to make it into a system. And that is how Titans was born. So Titans, the team in trust and spirit today, is representing many leaders across the world who are basically core people in their own markets. And these people basically follow a certain system. System, in simple words, which I can say, is a set of rules which we follow to get an expected result. That means expected result. That means I know if I am going to follow this methodology, I am going to get to this result. I am very clear about it, and that is why I follow that. Now, following a set of rules also saves my time. Following a set of rules also saves my money and energy. So that means I know that not every time you can learn from your own mistakes. Many times we can learn from other people's mistakes also. That means we can understand that, oh, this fellow is making mistake or this person is making mistake. I should not be doing that so that I am on the right path. And that is the most important thing. And that is why it is very important to follow a system. So we always talk about something which is called as Titan's system. And Titan's system is almost like a guiding force, or it's like a guideline which is designed for your success. So it is almost like a reference book, which is your upline. He will be giving it to you. You can ask him and he will give you a copy of it. So that becomes your reference point. That means anything, any doubt you have about this business, you are thinking that what I should be doing in the next step, go back to the system book. The system book has everything written. Watch it, come back again and start working on it. So system is most important, and system is also not a buffet. That means system is not that something, okay, I like it, I'm going to choose. I don't like it, I don't choose it. No, it doesn't work in that way. It works in 100% manner. That means system must be followed on 100% manner. So it is not a pick and choose. It is A to Z. That means I know what to do at each level and how to do it. So in summary, system is comprising of two things. Number one is what to do, and number two is how to do it. All right. And what to do is basically nothing but skills. So these are your skill sets which is required for this business. And how to do it is the process in which you will be doing it. So the 5 core skill set which is required in our business basically for somebody to become successful. Okay, so let me talk about it. The first skill set which is required is, I will call it as prospecting. Okay, so prospecting, where it starts with maybe writing the name list, selection, and qualification. So this is the first thing. The second thing is basically which is required is invitation. The second skill set which is required is how to invite, invitation. The third is how to present. Fourth is how to do a closing or a follow-up or sign up. And the fifth one is how to do meeting number 1 or how to do the activation meeting. So these are the 5 skill sets which is required for any person on how to do it. What to do. And the second point is how to do. How to do is the methodology of how to do it. So methodology also has a process. So the first thing which you are going to do is you learn. So the first step which you are going to do is you learn. Second is which you are going to do is practice. So learn, practice, then master. Then you are become a master in that skill set. Then you train. You start training other people about it. And then last one is you duplicate. So you have the 5 skill sets. At the same time, you have 5 methodology on how to do it, where you are learning, at the same time you are practicing, then you are doing what we call it as mastering, then you are training yourself, training others, and then you have perfectly duplicated yourself into somebody else. All right. So the skill set is something which is, I will call it as an ongoing process. That means all of these skills will have a levels. So let's say example, if you put a number to these skills, which is you are having a number between 1 to 10. So 1 is like basic level, you have an understanding about it. Then you have number 2, then you have number 3, and then you go all the way up to 10. So I have also taken a mindset is basically I am having a mindset of a learning mindset. That means I am decided that this is going to be a learning experience in my life. Because the beauty about our business is this is learning while earning. That means you learn something, you earn, then you learn, and it becomes an ongoing process. So all of these skills which I'm talking about, maybe you are learning right now. And once you are learning it, you will start practicing it. And once you're practicing it, you will be working with new set of people, completely new set of people. And now you will be learning more. Maybe your market will change. That means, I'll tell you, like when I was building up this business in Middle East, the total atmosphere was totally different. And then when I started building this business in Sri Lanka and India, the situation was different. When I started building up in Africa, situation was totally different. So your learning also will get into a lot of stages and lot of learning, lot of levels. So initially, of course, you start, but slowly you start upgrading yourself. So you need to keep asking one question: what kind of a skill set you have? What level of skill set you have today? Whether it is at 3, whether it's at 4, whether it's at 5, whether it's 6, all of these things. All right. So of course we keep upgrading, keep getting better and better about it. All right. So let me just go a little bit of skills in detail. And today, like this is the first time we are doing it. I'm going to talk about the first few skills, which is very important for you. So the first and foremost is basically you have decided to write down the first part, which is prospecting. And prospecting starts with your writing a name list. So when you write down your name list, you must write down each and every person. Okay. So where is this contacts are coming from? These contacts are coming from anywhere. Okay. So anyone and everyone should become a part of your list. All right. So the best source is, I would say, your mobile phone, or let's say you are using Google, then Google gives you your all contacts together. If you're using Apple phone today, Apple gives you all contacts together. Any kind of a cloud storage facility gives you that. Your Facebook is again another source where basically you have so many contacts. Okay. Let's say you are using any other kind of a platform where you are getting a lot of contacts, social media platform, all of these are your names and the contact. Maybe you can also think about, let's say, a memory jogger kind of a thing. Like, let's say example, you sit down in one place and you think now your family, who are all there in my family, like who is there in my mother's side, who's there in my father's side. Make a tree, make a family tree. Just sit down and just make a family, say who is on my mother's side, who is on my father's side, who is on my wife's side, whom I know. So all of this, remember, again, just a caution, I have told you just to write down the list. I have not thought about whether they will become a part of the business or not, because that is again one of the mistakes which most of the people will be doing. Most of the people will be doing a mistake that you will be thinking about, oh, who is going to join my business? And that's the question which you are going to ask yourself. But no, that's not the idea. The idea is name list means you are just writing down list of names. Or let me ask you in a different manner. Let's say example, if God or somebody, a very rich person, or maybe a company tomorrow, they say that, okay, for every name which you have written, I'm going to give you $50 each. What do you think, how many names you will be able to write? So you will be writing, I'm sure, that not less than 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever it is. Okay. So why? Because now there is an incentive behind it. But let me tell you, my dear friends, that the list, the name which you have written in your list is having a much more value than that $50. All right. So that's why this is your first mental block. Okay. This is just nothing but is just a mental block. It's here. Otherwise, so many people. Okay. You just decide that, yes, I'm going to write. Maybe you will write up to 1,000 people. But what we say always is should write about 150 minimum. The bigger the list is, the more confident you are. It's exactly like I also put it up with let's say you are building a big mansion or a big multi-story building. All right. So how do you build this? How do you make this building? You will be making it from the bricks. So imagine You are building up this business. What do you require now? You require names. So you cannot have like 5 names, 10 names, 20 names, because this is what I have seen most of the time. And when we tell people, okay, go and write down your list, or maybe we help them to write down the list, most of them will come up with about 20 people, 40 people, 50 people. Why? The idea here is basically you come up with less because you are keep on thinking. So it's like your own assumptions, whether this person will become a part of the business or not, and you are thinking most of the time about it. I would say put everything aside, just focus on writing down the name. Once you write down the list, the second thing which I will say is now you go through something which is called as a selection. So selection. So let me give you an example. Let's say example, one fine day you went to the company, your own company, and your management has declared that you have become a general manager. You have become a general manager today. But what they have done is they have fired your core team people. And they are asking you to make your own core team. Okay? Or your own hierarchy, whatever, your your assistant managers, your supervisors, and your core managers, and all of them. But they have also given you 1,000, let's say 1,000 or 1,500 CVs, biodatas to you. How will you do it? How will you select the core team? So the first thing which can come into your mind is basically, I'm going to go one by one, all of these CVs, correct? No. That will be a very, very time-taking approach. It is an approach, but it is a time-taking approach. Instead, what is better is think about how many people you require, at each level, and write down what kind of quality which you are looking, or what kind of a qualification which you are looking for each of this category. And now you try to meet or try to match the biodata is what you have with the requirement which you are thinking. That will be a much more easier to do it. Similarly, when you are thinking about building up of this business, the first thing which you are looking in is you are thinking about what are the qualities, what are the criterias which I am looking in my name list, so that they can become a part of my business, or they can become a part of my organization. All right. So I would say predominantly there are 4, and maybe of less category there are another 2. But let me talk about the first 4. The first 4 things, and out of that, the top 2 things which you're looking in any person is influence. That's number 1 which you're looking is influence. That means what kind of influence this person carries. So this person has some influence over you, you have certain influence over this person. This is the first thing which you are looking in. The second thing which you are looking in is basically whether this person has a startup capital or not. Because ultimately, whatever idea or whatever passion this person has, until unless he doesn't have that startup capital, he will never be able to start. Don't you agree? Yeah. So these are the 2 important things which you are looking. Now the third thing which you are looking is basically you are understanding that what kind of a need or desire this person has. A life which has no desire is not worth living. So when you are looking forward for entrepreneurship, when you're looking forward for quality of entrepreneurship in any person, you are looking basically if this person has that that need, that desire around. The next thing which you are looking is, you are looking forward is whether this person can take decision by himself or not. That means he has that authority or not. All right. So can I request everyone to mute? Okay. So whether this person can take the decision by himself, or whether his decision making is actually dependent on somebody else. And these are the 4 criterias which you are looking. So what do, you basically, you take down your name list, you write down the columns, and in that you divide this by 4 vertical lines, in which you put it in one is the influence, the other one you put it as investment, startup investment, the third one you put it as a need or desire, and the fourth thing you put it as authority, or A is basically that he has a decision making authority to get started with this business. 2 other important, like I said, 2 other less important things which you are looking into these people is, number 1, his ability to work with people. His ability to work with people. That means that's a natural flair. Some people have that natural flair that yes, they are good to work with people. And if that is a quality a person has, it's fantastic. Basically, that's always an added advantage in any person. And the last thing basically which I will say, that if you're looking into a person, is you are also looking forward if they can very near to you, in vicinity. Okay, of course ours is a global business. I 100% agree with it, that ours is a global business and we can go and grow anywhere. Absolutely okay. But if the person is as closer, your network will build much more faster, your business will build much more faster. So these are the less too important, but still important. If it is there, you will be able to create your business in a good manner. I'll tell you, all of us, you ask any person, everybody has started their business from where they were. I started my business from the hotel where I was working. And I'm sure that all of you will agree. Whoever is basically, you talk to your upline, you go and look into your upline and ask him the one question: how did you started? How did you reach to your first 50, or how did you reach to your first 100? He will have a story to tell, that he started from the place where he was working, or maybe he was there in that village, he was there in that city, and that is how he started the business. Okay, so most of us start from the place where they are, and that's a very good straight to look at. So in your list, look for people who are near to you, so that you can build this business much more fast. All right, so once you come up with that kind of a short list, once you made this short list, and your short list can be something like 50 to 60 people first time, in that I am asking you to look for the first top 2, which is influence level and investment, startup investment. Identify your top 20 people. In that 2 categories, identify your top 20 people. Now, if you have 20, great. Even if you don't have 20, whoever is there, put it. Minimum, I am telling you, based on my experience, I am telling you, minimum you will have 7 to 10, minimum, to get started. And this will be your top people. That means high on influence, and you know that they have ready startup capital to get going. Once these 2 people are there, these 2 things are there, and you have maybe about 7 to 10, just see, increase, or maybe just filter it, come up with your top 20. Talk to your upline and arrange, schedule presentations after presentations after presentations timing for these 20 people. Let me tell you, the beginning in our business is this. If you begin well, half of your things are done. So you get going with this methodology, talk to your upline, have a word with him, start presentations for these 20. Okay, and then rest of the things will fall behind. In other words, this top 20 is, we call it as hot contacts. After that, whatever comes is a warm contact. And that's a long list of warm contacts. The last one will come as a cold contact with whom you have absolutely no influence and you don't have much details about it. But initially, if you start with cold contact, let's say, and some of stories which I have heard from people that no, they want to start with cold one, and I wonder why. Because the work can be done in a very easier manner, then why do you want to make it life so difficult where you want to go and talk to about cold contact? And if you have such kind of a thought process or such kind of a thought which is coming into your mind, first thing which I will tell is check your belief. Check your belief first of all, because your belief is low, then only you want to go and talk to the cold person. But if your belief is there on this business, the belief is there in the system, belief is there in the product, belief is there in your upline, you will never talk to a cold person in the beginning of your business. You will always go to your hot, you will always go to your warm, you will always go to your close people, and that's how you will get started. So if at all you have decided to talk to your cold or warm, I would say, first of all, convince yourself you need to talk to hot. Everybody did. I was Arun's hot. Although I had absolutely zero idea about this business or any kind of a sales and marketing business, because I was completely in a different industry, but still I was Arun's hot prospect. So the moment he said yes, I agreed for it. Similarly for me, my brother, my girlfriend at that time, okay, now my wife, but my girlfriend and associate V partner Manoj. These three people were my hot. They were my hot prospects. When I proposed, nobody said no. Everybody said, okay, how? How I can do it? Can I transfer money? And that should be the first thing which you should come. So that's why you should build and you should start with hot. Why? I'll give you another example. Okay, let's say example, you are buying, you are staying in a city. Okay, and you know that there is an upcoming area in your city itself, which is, you know that the land prices over there is going to go up maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line. And now you have identified a beautiful property. Somebody told you this property is very good. Go and buy. Let's say now you have some money. So of course you cannot buy the total property, right? So you can buy a little bit extent of that property. Now still that property is left. Little part is left. Whom do you recommend now to buy the rest of the property? You will definitely recommend it to your own family members, isn't it? Or your own close friends. And that is the situation right now which is there in this business. Because as you understand the business plan, okay, as you have seen the business plan, you have only two groups, you have only two organizations. And these two organizations are going to build parallelly. If you decided to take this business on a serious note, I'm telling you, next 3 years down the line, next 4 years down the line, you will have tens of thousands of people. And this benefit of this tens of thousands of people, whom do you want to give? Do you want to give it to some other people, or do you want to give it to your own family members? You will want to give it to definitely your own family members. And that is why you should build this business with your hot prospects. And that is the best way. So you identify, of course, you get to them and probably get your upline to arrange a meeting with them. But if they are very, very close, like your brother, like I told about my brother, okay? My brother was very young at that time. He was he just got into the job. He was like 2 years into the job. I told him there is a proposition, there is a business proposition, and I'm just getting involved in it. Okay. And I was thinking about it. So he asked me the first question, what is the investment? I said about 40,000 rupees at that time. I'm talking about, so that time the dollar value was also less. So he said, okay, so how do I transfer? That was the question. That's it. There was no other question about it. And I'm telling you, there are people in your life, there are people in your circle who are like that. They are maybe your close friends, close family members with whom you have not spoken so far about any kind of a proposition. They are willing. It's not something like, it's not a very big thing. Okay. I'm telling you, you look around in your house today, there are things which is of $800,000, $2,000 in your house lying there just like that, not worth of anything. You are not using it. Nobody is taking care. It is just gathering dust. I am very 100% sure because my house is also same. So I can tell you about it. So there are things which is basically we care into other people, we care about other people, and that's why we want to become a part of them. And they are your hot prospects. So you should build this business with your hot prospect. And I have seen many success stories among the family members where sisters, a group of sisters, group of group of brothers have really achieved,
Power at home,
have
but
really
power in the
achieved.
meter box is there. Our Yaka is there.
Can I request everyone
Yeah,
to
so I think my
mute?
electrician.
So they have got into basically that kind of a huge success where they have understood that yes, working together closely gives them a great success. And that's why you should build this business with your hot. And after hot is basically you are coming to the warm. So who are these warm people? The warm people may be colleagues, or they may be the people who are basically having some kind of acquaintance with you. Maybe they studied with you. Maybe you guys are members of some kind of a club, or maybe you guys are members of some kind of association. They are your warm prospects. And then rest all belong to the cold prospect. So once you identified with this, and this is something which is your ongoing process. That means, let me tell you, as long as you are there in this business, you will be doing the first part always. Second part also always. Third part also always. I'm talking about the skills. All right. So all the 5 skills you will be doing constantly as you become a part of our business. That means you will be constantly prospecting people and sending them to different categories. Either they are hot, they are warm, or they are cold. Now let us come to the second skill, which is how to invite. And invitation is a very simple process. Invitation is a very simple process. First of all, first rule, okay? Don't think you are inviting them about a business proposition. the first thing which should come into your mind, that you are not inviting any person for the business. You are inviting somebody for to having a look at your business. And there are two different things. Okay, because in one idea you might be thinking you want to join them. So you may be questioning, oh Balaji, but we are joining them. Yes, but you are doing it in parts. So you are doing it in step 1, step 2, step 3, like steps process. So the first thing is basically you are asking them to come and have a look at it. So once they look at it, then they decide. So there is a division. So that means once we identified the person, we invite them, they look at the presentation, then we ask the decision, and then we get them started right in this business. Okay, and these are the different parts of this business. So once you identified with the list, you came to the list. Now you have divided the list into 3 categories, which is hot, warm, and cold. Now what am I going to do is I'm going to invite. So like I said, your hot, maybe sometimes they don't even need invitation. But if they need invitation, your invitation can be as simple as possible. Something like, what are you doing today evening? And your brother says nothing. He said, come over, we want to discuss about something. Right? So I am sure this is very simple. You just get on the face. I mean, I'm telling you, with cold, sometimes, with very, very hot people, sometimes you don't even have to make it as a business. You don't want to sound like a business. Like example, if I want to get my brother into this, I cannot tell him, okay, you come down and then there will be a business presentation and then I'm going to invite somebody who's going to talk to you about the business. It doesn't sound nice. So it must be a very simple and as simple as that invitation. Okay. So let's say you're talking to one of your close friend who is associated for your last 20, 30 years. Maybe you can say that, okay, come down in the evening with your family. I want to discuss about something. That's it. So this is one of the most important thing for hot. So always remember, info is must in an invitation. Info is a must in an invitation. So the warm prospects. So the warm prospects is basically now you are telling them that, let's say, your invitation will go in the manner of what are you doing, and then blah blah blah. Now during this corona or the COVID times, it's easy for us to get across with the people because people are usually at home and they are a little bit relaxed. So once you have spoken to those people, once you exchange the pleasantries, then you can definitely ask about, by the way, like if you know about this person, whether this person was interested in any kind of a business, or whether this person was looking out for something, or whether this person was relocating anywhere, or whether this person is in need of something. Okay, so your usual talk can go about is like, example, how is your job going on, how is your promotions going on, how is your work situation, has it been progressing? All of this, your bit of pleasantries here and there you ask, and then after asking you can propose that, you can say that I have started something. Okay, I have started a big international project, and I have been thinking about doing something, and there is a group of people who actually just came across, and then I found it very interesting, and then that's how I got started. So this is your info. Okay, remember the info which I told you just now. Okay, now this info will have reactions, and mostly there will be 3 reactions. Based on my own experience, I'm saying there will be 3 reactions to it. So the first reaction, which, oh yeah, oh, what is it, Balaji, can you tell me more about it? That's your first reaction. Okay, the first reaction is, tell me more about it. The second reaction is, people will tell you, oh, good, Balaji, good for you, very good for you. All right, so this is your second reaction. Third reaction, absolutely blank. They will not say anything to you. All right, so the moment you gave this info, they are silent. Okay, they are silent, or maybe they are talking about. Are you going to leave them? No, you're not going to leave anyone, any of these 3 categories. But your first approach should be always to the number 1, who has asked you, what is it? Tell me more about it. So when he says, tell me more about it, don't jump. Okay, don't jump with excitement that, oh wow, that now this person has come. No, when the person says the first one, tell me more about it, then you need to reply is saying that, you need to say that, oh, okay, are you also looking for something like that? Are you also interested in something like that? So you need to ask that first question to them, saying that, are you also interested in something like that? Are you also looking forward for something like that? And the most people say yes. Then you can ask, then you can say, okay, noted, I will tell you, I will talk to these people, and maybe I will come back to you in one of these days about their opinion. That's finished. That's it. You don't have to do anything at that moment. You don't have to jump. You don't have to invite. Don't say, okay, come. Now I have my upline is ready, and then no. Don't get into any kind of a thing. Ask that question, create that curiosity, stop it. B. You remember the B response? I told you the B response. The B response is, they said, okay, good for you, Balaji. All right. So then what you do is basically, then you say that yes, things are good, things are shaping up well. I will be keeping in touch with you. I will tell you more about it. I will be informing you, and then exchange the pleasantries, stop. Okay, so don't go further, and just make a note, A, B, C, something like that, in your name list, that diary, wherever you are noting down. Now the C is cold list. So cold response, basically that person didn't say anything, right? So this person didn't say anything, then you just exchange pleasantries, things like that, and just write down there, basically his response was a 3 response or something like that, and leave it there. Maybe requires more of talking. All right. So this is the way in which you record the response. Now, once you record the response, this A, don't call this week, maybe next week. You call him and say, you remember on the other day you were asking that you were interested in something. I spoke to this group of people, and they said that yes, something can be done. By the way, are you still interested? And that person says yes. Then you can say, why don't you come over? Or maybe we can fix up a meeting online. Can we have a schedule? What time is it convenient for you? And then you fix up that time for about 1 hour, 15 minutes. I don't promise you anything, but if everything looks good on both sides, then we will get going. So something like that, your invitation should be with 100% posture, as if you are inviting somebody to your partnership. All right. And you are not pushing, or you are not promising him something. All right. So that is the way in which your invitation should be. Once you did the invitation, now presentation is taken care by your upline. But you be attentive, be watchful, make notes, because this presentation, as your upline is doing, it will be also done by you after some time. Okay. So I learned my first presentation like after 2.5 months in the business. Till that time, my upline, we partner Arun George, and his upline, we partner Mahendra Kumar. They were the only people who were doing the presentation in Bahrain. But after that, slowly, I took over. After 2.5 months in the business, I started doing it by myself. All right. So similarly, you understand that you will be also doing the presentation. Then comes is the next skill, which is called as follow up, or objection handling is a part of this follow up. And then eventually it is taking you to the closing and sign up. When you play golf, or you ever watch a golf tournament, or maybe a player, the speed or the distance where the ball goes, it's always based on how the cue has been actually, the cue stick has been, the golf stick has been basically taken, and then the follow up happens. Is the same way in our business. Follow up is the key to success. That means if you don't follow up, all the efforts which you have done, right from the writing the list to invitation to presentation, gets wasted if you don't do follow up. Now, many people have their own mindset, or I would say their own thought process. The thought process is basically, I am not going to do a follow up. If he wants to come, he let him come. No. People are hesitant most of the time. And most of the time, people are looking forward for leaders to lead them into the path. So it is not that you want to ask somebody. It's like a partnership in which you are inviting somebody. So you're not pestering someone, but you are qualifying someone to be a partner with you. 3 things which you need to look into a follow-up. Number 1, you need to understand that what is his budget? What is the person's budget? Second thing is you need to fix the BVs, the business volumes. What kind of business volumes with that he wants to enter? Third thing, what is his product? Don't go in the reverse manner. This should be the order. The order is budget, then BVs, then product. Because these product, why I said put in the last, because most of the people put it in this in the front. I will tell you, if you are successful in this business, you will end up buying all products from the company. I started from watch or at the beginning. But today, if you ask me, I have everything. My house is full of products. All right. We are all using everything. My wife is using certain products are lifestyle products, which we are using it. I have about 25 different watches. I have water purifier, air purifier, everything is there in the house. But it all started because I started with one product, which was at that time difficult for me to come in because I was looking forward for that investment money to come into the business. But eventually I bought everything. I bought 15 weeks vacation package, which I constantly use it. I bought another one vacation package. So you may end up using all the products, but this should be the flow. Once you do this follow up, so follow up involve your upline to get into the, because you are very new and you don't know how to do the follow up. So if you understand, and the activation meeting, the last one, which is activation meeting, again, your upline is doing it. So if you understand this 5 core skill, list, invitation, these are the only 2 things which is you are doing it. As you are very new in the business, these are the only 2 things which you are doing it. And these two things try to get to perfection, because these three things your upline is doing it 100%. You are just a facilitator, or I would say you're just making it happen, but everything else is done by your upline. So that's why it is very, very important for you to understand the importance of an upline in your beginning stage of this career. All right. So once your skills are there, then you start learning into detail and then start practicing. So practice, practice, practice until you become perfect, until you become master at it. And you can go back to your upline, you can go back to your system coach at any time. All right. They are always approachable and they are always ready to help you into the process. So keep a number in front of you, that how many people you want to talk. So like I will tell you that what I used to do in my beginning stage of this career is I used to have every Saturday 15 people. I used to take it out. Like today is a Saturday. Today is a brand new week. Like this week is week 51. We have only 2 weeks to go in this 2020. So this week 51, I will take out about 15 people. I will write down these 15 people and I will be talking to this 15. Now this 15, maybe about 6-7 presentations will fall in this week. Remaining, maybe it will carry forward in next week. But this 15, which I will be making sure that I have taken from my list, and I will be fixing it up presentations for this 15. So similarly, keep a number in front of you, keep a track record of these people in front of you and follow that, because if you try to see like whole thing, it may confuse you. So right, let's start with some kind of a fixed number in front of you and start working on them to get to that. Now, so this is what is your journey in this business. Now your journey is always fueled by two things. Number one, what kind of a goal you have and what kind of a commitment which you are putting forward to your goal. So what kind of a goal you have and what kind of a commitment which you have. So let me give you an idea, or let me give you a little bit of a clarity on that. Let's say example, all of you who are attending today, okay? I'm giving you 1 minute. So take out a notepad or maybe a paper in front of you. Okay, just keep it in front of you. All right. I want you to write down few things. I want you to write down maybe 2 things. Okay. So once you have taken out, let's say example, your paper is there. I can see, yeah, some of you, very good. Okay. So your paper is there in front of you and now you have your pen. I want you to write down 2 short-term goals, very simple short-term goals. It can be like getting 4 directs, or it can be like 2 directs, or getting a commission check of $250, or getting a commission check of $500, whatever it is, basically, which you don't have it yet and you want to get it. So very short term, okay, which is like you want to get it in maybe next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it is. So just write down 2 goals, 2 such goals. Just write it down, 1 and 2. Now, the next step, I hope you're following. I can see some of you. Yes. Okay. Now, I want you to write down steps which is required to get to this goal. So let's say example, okay. You have written, you want to do 2 directs in this month. Let's say example, you have written, you want to do 2 directs by 31st of December. Now I want you to write down 3-4 steps which will lead to your goal. So what can be the 3-4 steps? One is like, of course, you know that you need to do a lot of personal presentations. How many personal presentations you need to do? Maybe you need to do like 10 or 15 personal presentations to get to your 2 directs. Okay, so write down that simple steps. I need to make fresh 60 people contact list, or I need to devote like 4 hours every day for this business onto my personal activity, something like that. So for 2 things which you have done so far, okay, let me repeat. You have written down 2 short-term goals to achieve it. The next thing which you have written down is 3-4 action steps to achieve to the goal. Okay, now next point which I want is look into the action steps and see if these action steps you can see mentally. Mentally you can see it. That means in future you can see achieving it. That means, let's say example, if you see if you have written action step, I need to present to 15 people, 15 prospects. See it in your mind, you are really presenting to this 15 people. Okay, so some unknown faces, see that you are literally sitting there and now you are presenting it to unknown faces, 15 people. So random, right? Similarly, think about when you're thinking about, let's say your short-term goal is to get to a direct, 2 directs. In your mind, think these are the 2 people whom you are new and now you are doing a meeting number 1 with them. Or let's say your goal is, let's say, getting $500. Then you think about that, how are you getting this $500? That means you are imagining, let's say example, this $500 is basically you are now spending it, or you are enjoying with your family. All right, and the action step towards it is basically, let's say you are talking to your core team, and your core team is giving these many BVs, and these BVs are coming into your genealogy report, and you can see in front of that country, you can see these BVs coming into your cash out leg. That is basically the mental picture. Okay, mental picture of the goal which you are achieving is basically already there. So keep this thought, keep this action plan, keep this goal very clear in mind, as clear as possible. Keep it in your mind and keep thinking about it and keep working on it morning and evening. That means as you get up, think about that, start working. As you sleep, again think about it and sleep with it. Right? And I can assure you that this is something which is going to happen. Your upline in this business is like a lamppost. You know, lamppost, when you want to take a big journey and you have lamppost which is basically guiding you that this is the direction, this is where you need to go there, and that is your upline. Is basically they are the lamppost which is taking you to the goal which you have written. And you are taking that journey, and the vehicle is our company, vehicle is our business. Now the beauty about this vehicle is this vehicle performs as driver wants. That means if you want this to be driven very fast, it will go very fast. If you want to take enough breaks, drive, take a break, drive, take a break, drive, take a break, drive, take a break. The journey seems very far, number 1. You are tired mentally and physically. A business with unlimited potential has to be driven by the driver in the fastest manner. Otherwise, you are undermining the potential of the vehicle. And that is true 100% with our business. All right. So, as you are into this business, as you are getting into this business, I will say that this is your starting point. Now, the training which I have told today, which I have done, the training which I have done today is basically just a beginning. You want me to talk about this entire thing which I have told in last 90 minutes. If you want me to talk about it for next 3 days, I can speak to you about three days. I will never get tired talking about all this. But this is something which is very, very important for you right now, and what you can apply it immediately. This is what I have shared it with you. Now, every year our company